Hi, Rochelle with LadyFermenter. Today I'm going to be testing out the Flash Brewing German Hefeweizen Kit. Now these kits are designed for beginners, but I think I've got another use case for it and I'm going to test it out. Now, like I said before, this kit is designed for beginners and it's really pretty cool. You get almost everything you need in the box, and you just need a fermenter to brew or to mix. Actually, we're going to mix into it. I don't know if I can. I'm struggling with the. Oh, there we go. You'll just need a fermenter. It needs to be 6 to a 7 gallon fermenter, and you need to have a spigot, and then a lid, of course, airlock and bung, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm just going to follow the directions. Now, for me, my use case is that currently I don't have time. It's been really a pretty crummy year for us. My husband had a stroke on February 1st while he was waiting to have his hip replaced. And so he was recuperating from that, and just recently in September he did have his hip replaced, but because the hip was so deteriorated, it's like he needs to learn how to walk all over again. So what does that mean for me? That means is that I am now I've been his full-time caregiver all year, or since February 1st, even in the hospital because I had to advocate, but I have had zero time to brew. And it's really been difficult. For me, a brew day is 5 hours long, so I'm thinking if I can make good beer, that would be great. Because let's face it, like, beer doesn't have to be award-winning. I know not all my beers are, and it doesn't have to be amazing, over-the-top awesome, although I'd like my beers to be that. So all this really needs to do is create good beer. So let's see what happens. I know this is a long one, so we created chapters so you can click around in the video and find the information that you need. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a fermenter that is 6 to 7 gallons in capacity. So you're also going to need, this is kind of fun to film, but you're going to need, I would recommend one with a spigot because that's going to come into play when you're bottling. Then of course these come with a lid. So this particular one comes with a gasket, a lid, and then you're going to need an airlock, which means bung. I like the 3-piece airlocks. 1, 2, and 3, because they're easier for me to clean. We'll either be using Star San or One Step. Okay, so I already have a clean fermenter, and I have a half a gallon of water. All right, so let's just go from the start. So we're going to need 5 gallons of clean, good tasting water that's free of chlorine or chloramine. We have to put the girls in charge of shipping because otherwise they're getting into brewing stuff. So this is what we've decided to do with them because they can't leave anything alone. So now we put them in charge of shipping. So that, I apologize for the noise. Girls can keep it down, we're filming. Okay. This should not take this long. All right. So, free of chlorine or chloramine, and they recommend that we buy 5 gallons of water in advance, either RO, which is reverse osmosis, or distilled, or spring water. Now, we bought spring water because I feel that when the Germans came to Wisconsin and Milwaukee to brew beer, they were using the water that they were getting out of the ground. So that's what we did, is we went to a local spring and picked up 5 gallons of water. So you'll need one of the kits, of course, 6 to 7 gallon fermenter. This one is 6 up to here, so this one's has a little bit wiggle room, and you want that because some yeast is very active. So you don't, if you brew in a smaller container, you might have a mess, and then you're just gonna lose beer. I've been there. All right, you need either Star San or One Step for your sanitizer. Okay, so clean and sanitize, we have a clean fermenter, and we're just gonna put 1 gallon of tap water in here, along with 1 teaspoon of Star San. I already have a towel down because I am awesome at making a mess when it comes to liquids. Okay, and we're going to keep that container because that's what's going to sanitize our other things. And then we're just going to go ahead and shifted this ahead of time. We just need 1 teaspoon of Star San. Now Star San will bubble, but you don't have to worry about the bubbles. So they say don't fear the foam. That's one of their taglines. And so don't fear the foam. All right, now I'm just going to, I think I might put this on just so that I make less of a mess. Anything's possible. All right, now we're just gonna give it, oops, upside down. I did that on purpose. Okay. All right. Ugh. Don't worry, we'll be sanitizing that as well. So we're just gonna shake this and make sure that you get your entire, see if I can lower this so you can see what I'm doing, because that's more important. All right, so you're just gonna shake this and make sure you get your entire fermenter covered in Star San. Looks like I have a little helper. You done with shipping, stinker? All right. Can you see what I'm... Oh, a towel was a great idea. Okay, so we're just gonna make sure we got it all covered in Star San. And then we're gonna wait 2 minutes while it's doing its job. Set a timer. Okay, now, showed you those other things. You're going to have your airlock. And we take apart the, oh, we can just do that right now. And let's see if I can do this with one hand. We're going to put all these pieces in here. I'll take that apart. You're also going to want to sanitize a pair of scissors, because what we're trying to prevent are any sneaky little microbes from getting into our beer. And this you do not need. This is completely for fun. Expensive little toy, but I thought you could find benefit in it. Okay, our 2 minutes is up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to drain it into that bowl. Now we're going to drain our Star San into this bowl. So 2 things are happening at this point. 1, it's sanitizing the spigot, and 2, it's sanitizing everything in the bowl. And you can see how foamy the fermenter is, but don't fear the foam. It's not going to cause any issues with the ferment. You don't need to rinse it out. That would be counterproductive to us sanitizing the inside of this fermenter. Let me go get rid of the rest of this. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to start adding water. So it says add 3 gallons of your clean, good tasting water to your fermenter, ideally RO. which is reverse osmosis, distilled, or spring water. So 3 gallons. I'm just gonna get close. Okay. Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can use the markings. Okay, try that again. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I forget how heavy 5 gallons of water is. Is it all in there, Zena? Nope. Okay, here we go. All right, excuse me, sweetie. Excuse me. You need to see the 1, 2, almost. We're almost there. All right, whoop, a little bit more. Okay, 3 gallons of water. Now it says, add all ingredients. Use your sanitized scissors to cut open the yeast. Okay, get our yeast out. We're using, this one came with Saf Ale WB06. Okay, shake that down a little bit. Our sanitized scissors. Sprinkle that in. All right, next it says to add the malt blend powder. So that's this. We're going to use our sanitized scissors to cut this open. Let's see if I can let you see what I'm doing. Hopefully I don't drop it. Now, one of the things that we used to always do is have Oktoberfest for our friends and neighbors. But this year, there's no way possible that I can pull that off. So what I'm hoping to do is what I'm calling Thanktoberfest. So I'm going to get these beers brewed, and then we'll package them, and then we'll just deliver them to our friends and neighbors and thank them for all their amazing support through this adventure that we've been on with Stan's health issues. Let's see, what's next? Hop Bite shot, and then the hop pellets. Okay, so it comes with this Hop Bite shot. Okay, that's what's going to give the beer its bitterness because we're not boiling. So that's what it looks like. And that's just going to go in after you take the cap off. Okay. All right. And then the hops. Again, we're going to be using our sanitized scissors. I'm going to give them a little zhuzh in the star sand. I'm just going to cut this open. Now this one is Hallertau Mittelfrüh. We're testing another camera at the same time. All right, that goes in. All right, everything's in. There's no special ingredients with this one, so there is no stirring required. So add all the ingredients to your fermenter, no stirring is required. Add the rest of the water. Now I'm going to get another measuring cup. I'm at 3 gallons, so I just want to add another 2 because I think that bottle might be over 5 gallons because I noticed it was way up to the top. So I just want to, you don't need to do that. Somebody is stealing, oh my goodness. So Zena's stop doing that. Zena loves malt. She loves malt powder. She loves malt grain. She likes to lick the dust. All right, we're just gonna pour this in. That was 1. So that's half a gallon. Yeah, little stinker tried to steal the bag from malt. Stinker. Okay, that's 2. So that's a gallon. Ooh, it smells like beer. So like I said before, all this needs to do is make good beer. And typically for me, like I may have mentioned, a brew day for me is 5 hours. And I love brewing. It's relaxing. I love sharing. I love posting it for all of you, testing out things to hopefully inspire you or entertain you or save you time and money. Absolutely love all of that, and I totally miss everything, but as a full-time caregiver right now, I just don't have the time. So I thought, you know what, if these kits make good beer, that's pretty amazing. Oh yeah, see, that was a good idea. Okay, that had a little bit more in it. Okay, that's it. All right, you don't need to stir it, you don't need to shake it. Okay, now we're gonna attach everything, seal the fermenter. Here we go. All right, there's our gasket. Going on top. And we have, the girls are nuts. It does say to use water in your airlock. I'm going to use Star San because that's what I normally do. It's not gonna hurt anything. In fact, I think it'll give it a little added protection in the event something gets in there. Okay, now I'm an idiot. I'm gonna open this back up just for a second, and I'm going to add this. This is a floating hydrometer. This is definitely not necessary in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to try to be strategic in where I drop it so it doesn't get stuck in any of the malt powder. Oh no! Oh no, I just hit malt powder. Oh shoot! Okay, I made it through. All right, and that's it. About 15 minutes, maybe, contact time. Oops, sorry. That's it, we're done. We're done. It is a little, I wanna shake it and I wanna stir it. I don't wanna grab a spoon and stir it, even if it's sanitized, because you'd run the risk of sneaky little microbes getting in and ruining the ferment. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna follow the directions and see what happens. And let's see, it says to place in room temperature area between 65 to 85 Fahrenheit. I'll throw up on the screen what that is in Celsius. And the reason I put that tilt in there is we'll be able to see the ferment, how it's progressing. Okay, so we'll take a look at this baby. It's supposed to says in approximately 10 to 14 days, when the airlock stops bubbling and shows no activity for 24 hours, you are ready to bottle or keg. If needed, move your fermenter to a suitable bottling location and let it settle for 12 hours before bottling. It's technically day 1. It's been just 24 hours, and see, there's not any activity in the airlock. I'm not seeing any bubbles. But, all right, so you can see that it looks like the yeast activity has broken down the clumps of dry malt that was in there yesterday. And there's no, even though there's no activity in the airlock, looks like I got everything. Oh, I don't. Oh my gosh. Here's the first place to check if you're not having any activity. See how that popped off for whatever reason. So we want to push that down. I'm probably going to have to get some clips. That is the worst thing about these big mouth bubblers, is they'll do junk like that. So maybe we'll see some. Oh, there you go. It just wasn't tight. So pro tip, check to make sure your lid's on tight if you're not seeing any bubbles. The other thing I wish I could show you, and I don't think this camera has the capability. Let me see if I can add, oh, maybe you can see it. You see all that turbulence right there? That is the yeast working its butt off. All right, so that's what all that activity is. Now, I got to tell you, watching this ferment go through color changes, I think we can all agree that does not look like any beer. Maybe a fruit juicy if you ever had a juicy one, but right now it does not look like a Hefeweizen. Last night it looked brown, like something you'd see in a swamp. So it's been really interesting to see the color changes that this beer is going through. Right, now let's take a look at what our tilt says. There we are. It has the green one in it. So 1.030. That's after 24 hours. The right one. All right, so now that the lid is securely fastened, you can see all the activity in that airlock, and I can tell you that I did find my notes, and at 7 o'clock this morning I looked at the ferment, and it looked like all of the dry malt had been assimilated or broken down or dissolved or whatever you want to say into the wort. And so the reading this morning was 1042, so 1.042, which means that now it's at what we would refer to as 1030, so 1.030. So it has moved 12 points in 24 hours. It is day 2, I'm calling it. And let's see what our Hefeweizen is doing. Still bubbling, and the color is changing. Still, now it's starting to lighten up a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but it's more of a golden, more golden than it was yesterday. And we are at 1.020, also known as 1020. And I thought it'd be a good idea to move the thermometer in. So my husband moved the thermometer so you can see ambient temperature. All right, so that is day 2. Day 3 of our German Hefeweizen. The color is changing. It's getting a little brighter. The Kreuzen has fallen quite a bit from all the way up here, and now it's down here. And our airlock is still bubbling every once in a while. Oh, there it went. So now let's take a look at how our fermentation's going. And you can see we're down to 1016, 1.016. And so it's moving along nicely. It is day 4. See what our ambient temperature is. And there's still a little bit of activity in the airlock. There you go. and the color is starting to brighten up. But you can see the bubbles are continuing to fall. And activity, still yeast activity, but things have slowed down. 113, or 10, yeah, 1013, so 1.013 is what our gravity is. All right, let's see what's going on tomorrow. It is day 5, and there's still some bubbling happening in the airlock. And if we take a look at the progress, it's like that Kreuzen has looking about the same as yesterday, and the color is still continuing to brighten up, and we are currently at 1.008 for gravity. All right, we'll check back tomorrow. Ambient temperature is 68 degrees. Okay, it is day 6, and we still have a little bit of activity in the airlock for our German Hefeweizen, and the color is starting to stabilize, I would say, meaning that it's looking more and more like a Hefeweizen should, color-wise. And like I said, today is day 6. So be sure to check back tomorrow. And currently our ambient temperature is 67, and it looks like gravity is 1.006. Okay, see you tomorrow. Or 7, so it's probably 1.006-ish. Okay, it is day 7, and our Hefeweizen is really slowing down. We have a very low Kreuzen. The color is pretty much stabilizing, looking like a good Hefeweizen color. And our gravity is 1.006, and ambient temperature is 65. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. All right, our German Hefeweizen Flash Brew Kit is ready. The only thing I would add to their directions are, they have you sanitizing the bottles, which is great. But I would, this is just a piece of paper towel soaked in sanitizer, and I would definitely do that. This is a spray bottle. I just sprayed the outside. And then your bottling hose, I would also rinse this out and then give it a rinse in Star San. Okay. All right. Now, if you have a hose that's giving you grief, just soak it in some warm water for a little while until it's pliable, and then stretch it out so that it's not being a pain in the butt. All right, 16-ounce swing top bottles, cleaned and rinsed out in Star San. If you're using Star San and you have some foam, don't fear the foam. You're just going to want to put the hose into the bottom, so you want minimize splashing at this point, and then remove the airlock. My favorite thing to forget to do, because you don't want that to suck back into your beer. All right, and here we go. These are really dark. We don't, and you have to be below, because we're using gravity. This is gonna be a little hard to see. I'm gonna go nice and slow. I would recommend a towel. I always spill. I don't think I've ever done a video where I haven't spilt. Let's see here. It's like, I think it's down by the swing top part. Looks like it. But you just want to fill this to the top of the bottle. Okay, whoops. Right. Having another set of hands is a beautiful thing. And once you pull the bottling, yep, see? Once you pull this out, you're going to see that the liquid isn't as high, and that's called displacement. So the hose just made the bottle look full. I'm just going to lightly put the cap on because we have another part to do. And I'm not going to bottle all of these, but I figure if I bottle 2, you're smart, you'll get it. I just wanted to really show you. So bottling hose, tube, whatever you want to call it, into the bottom, and then open up your spigot, and then we're just going to watch. Like I said, be ready for spills. If you don't spill anything, let me know in the comments what magic you possess, because I'm always spilling. Oh my goodness, it's almost funny, but it's not. It's annoying. But so I do umpteen loads of towels. I keep all the old towels, and we affectionately call them floor towels because whenever we're doing something like this, we need towels. Now our felines, oh shoot, try to remember which way is which, and I made even a bigger mess. We have 2 felines, and Star Sand is toxic to them. So we're trying our best to keep them out of the kitchen during this process, but they are being sassy as always. Okay, now I'm also going to show you a 12-ounce bottle. Just because if you think you might want to do this, it's a more economical way to bottle. All right, so to the right is closed. I have to remember that because I can't. Okay, now this might be a little easier to see the liquid. Just gonna go to the bottom. We don't want any splashing at this point. If we can help it. And you can see it going up the neck. I just shut it off. Okay. All right. Oh, I could have put a drop more.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine because otherwise I'll just spill. Ay, caramba. All right. So the reason I'm showing you this is because we only use our swing tops at home. All right, and I also have sanitized caps. We only use them at home because never in the history of the how many 10 years we've been brewing collectively have gotten a swing top bottle back. So that's why I just wanted to show. All right, I'm gonna change my hands, turn that back on. Okay. Whoops. Are we to the, oh, it might be, okay. Wow.
Yeah, you're at the top.
Yep, at the top. Okay, as you see, now the liquid is there. All right, put that right there for now. Right. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to add your pop shots. For a 16-ounce bottle, see now, you're gonna need 4. Honey, get out of here. We're gonna get back on track here. Okay, that was 4. Okay. We're gonna have to invest in a barn door to keep them safe. They just can't, they're so curious. They just can't help themselves. Okay, I'm gonna close that up nice and tight. Oops. All right, now for a 12 ounce, it actually says right on the package, you're only gonna need 3. And for the 16 ounce, you're gonna need 4 sugar tabs. I'm just gonna put that on for that one. I'll do one more, and then the rest of this I'm gonna keg. Oops. All right, all three going in. All right, now the only difference with this, there's several differences. One is cost. All right, so if you go this route, a case of 12-ounce bottles are $18 or $17.99 US dollars. Let me see if I can do it this way for you. All right, wings up, goes on top, and then you just push down. And then that crimps the cap to your bottle. We'll do that one more time. Bottle capper, wings up, onto the top of the bottle. Give yourself some room. I am using this rubbery little bottle opener as a skid resistant. Now, the one thing you're going to do, or the one thing you're not going to do, the one thing you are going to do is you're going to put these bottles in room temperature area, and the reason for that is yeast will work fabulously if they're happy. And what they're going to do is there is yeast suspended in this bottle, and it's going to find that sugar, and then it's going to burp CO2, so it'll carbonate your beer. But if you get excited, because I know we've done this, get so excited about getting to taste the beer that we put the beer either in a cool place or we put a couple bottles in the fridge. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to sacrifice one of these and show you the difference in room temperature carbonation versus cool refrigerator temperature carbonation. There's a big difference. Okay, now I'm going to semi-clean up my glorious mess. I should have brought a stack of towels with me. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, now we go into pressurized, cleaned and pressurized kegs. This one should be open. This one should be okay. As I opened it to make sure the top of the keg was clean, or sanitized. I should say it was clean, but it wasn't sanitized. Okay. Hose is going to go in there again, clean and sanitized. And just get that as far down as I can. I like to put this on top, and then we're just going to open it. Now, the Hefeweizen is a wheat beer, and it is cloudy. So it might be a little bit harder. Oh no, we'll be able to see it. So I don't know if you can see, yeah, this discoloration right here, that is trub or trub. In an all-grain batch of beer, that would consist of pieces of grain, hop matter, and the yeast that has fallen out of suspension. But for us, in these Flash Brew kits, it's just going to be the yeast and the hops. Now, you're not going to get hurt by it. Obviously, your beer is sitting on it, but you don't want that in your bottles or in your keg if you do have the luxury of kegging. So I'm just going to let this fill, and then when it gets to about here, we'll come back, and then I'll just show you what that looks like when you get closer to the top of that trub, call it whatever you want. Nothing but trouble. That's what trouble looks like right there. All right, you can see that the spigot, it's about not quite halfway down the spigot, and it stopped filling. So I'm just going to pull it. I might have to lift it up now that I've lost momentum. Might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Okay, just gonna have to pick it up, and I'm just gonna tip it forward. There we go. Oh shoot. Okay, 1 second. See that. All right, let me see if I can get some. Want a sneak preview? Now, okay, I know it's not going to be carbonated, but it will. I should have soaked this in warm water. This is kind of being a pain in the butt. Let's see here. I can. Oh, look at me. All right. That's probably enough. All right. Put that back. I just wanted to taste it. Oh, you really get the clove. Oh, a lot of clove. A lot of clove. Not as much banana. I'll try. This is one of my favorite beer styles. And we've got a video on the channel if you want. Yeah, it's not bad. If you are a big Hefeweizen fan like I am, but I want it all. I want a ton of banana. So Hefeweizen is banana and clove, and those flavors are coming from the yeast. So if you want a lot of that, then, well, let me see here. What am I doing? Not too bad. If you want those flavors, we do have, I'll link a video. It's all grain, but I tested out a way to maximize both of those flavors. So if this becomes a hobby of yours and you love a Hefeweizen, but you want a ton of banana and clove, I would highly recommend watching that video. All right, so what we don't want is, we don't want that trub or trub. You can say it however you want to say it. We don't want a lot of that in. I'm less worried, Zena. I'm less worried about a little cloudiness in this beer because it's cloudy. It's cloudy anyway. But I think I'm gonna pull the pin on that.
Just stir that up.
Yeah. All right. So pro tip, because I didn't do this last time, close the valve on your spigot before you move it. And let's see. I'm going to. Now we're gonna fast carb this, and we'll be able to drink this tonight if we want to. All right. But I'll tell you what, for the amount of, I'll say, contact time that I had making this beer, I think it's pretty darn good. Okay, I don't know if I can show this one because a hef is more cloudy. It's going to be harder to. Oh, here you go. There you go. There you go. So there you go. That trub is your hops and any yeast that has fallen out of suspension. The hef is ready. Now, remember, I wanted to illustrate what happens when you get excited or when you put the beer in a cold condition. So we'll see if the yeast will make a liar out of me. This bottle was the one we bottled and we moved it right into the refrigerator. Just the least little bit of a... Oh, look at that. Well, nice job. So this tells me that Hefeweizen yeast will work in cool conditions. Okay. All right. Let's see what this one. This is the one that we had. Woo! There we go. Sitting out at room temperature. Oh yeah, much better. But I'll tell you what. I mean, look at the difference. So this was refrigerator right into the fridge. I just want to share this because we've done this and then we're like, oh my God, our beer is screwed up. Not thinking about the yeast needing to do its job. So even though that to me is a pretty impressive head, considering it was not at room temperature, this one is beautiful. All right. Oh, they look
pretty close.
Pretty close, really. Okay. Which one should I do first? I'll do this one. I'll do the right one. The one that and the one that's in my right hand. Oh, soft. Oh, really clove forward. Just the least little. I'm really looking for banana, but it is clove, which you get that from the yeast. I love a Hefeweizen. It's creamy. You have the clove. I'm really looking hard for the banana. There's a least little bit of banana in the background. Nothing crazy. Really low hop, low spicy. I'm getting a little spicy. Really, the Hefeweizen, the bulk of your flavor is going to come from the yeast. And let's take a look at this one. I remember too. Now this one, the aroma is vastly different. It's more fruity. Maybe like unripe banana and a lot less clove.
Green banana?
Like, what did I say? Unripe? Yeah, green banana. Unripe. Mouth feels completely different. It is still clove forward, but you don't get that creamy head mouthfeel in the one that was not handled correctly by putting it in the refrigerator. But still made decent beer, which is what we were testing out. And for the amount of time that I saved doing it this way, I just needed to get some beer out to friends and family. And so far we've heard they're plowing through the beer, so that's a good sign. We'll circle back at some point and get their opinion. But really for these kits, all I want is a decent beer, and that's what it's producing. So if you want to give these a try, we have a link below. It is an affiliate link, so we do get a small commission if you use that link, which we would greatly appreciate. And thanks a pint for watching.
Please like and subscribe.